moved on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of this nightmare. But when I stopped to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try to be.
That's why there was people covering things. Like...
Yes, that's why. So we'll just give them a quick brush, and then we'll get our stuff on, and then we have like an obstacle course. And so
Why I'm smiling.
you don't know why you're smiling. We always smile. Smiling's the best.
The Mission 22 Equine program is a riding program for children of veterans. We also serve grandchildren or direct family members of veterans.
It's a lot of fun, and I've always loved horses. So.
We have private lessons and group lessons, but it's not just riding. You know, riding lessons, people just think that that's all it is. But we have the opportunity here to really build confidence, to lower stress levels, to give them an outlet and opportunity to spend time doing something healthy and productive. Mission 22 is really based on the foundation of the importance for family. It's why we're supporting families here. So in a time where kids' programs are being canceled left and right, school is shut down, they're not able to be around their friends, you know, being able to have an opportunity where they can just be together and let go of that stress and be around people. Again, honestly, it's just really that simple, being around people. You know, who would have thought that it was something as simple as that?
That's okay. You want to grab his reins, and then I'll have you walk them forward. It's really a special thing to watch these kids come every week and build a partnership and a relationship with their horse. It lets them forget about everything that's going on in life, being able to come here, kind of shut the world out a little bit, and have a really stress-free, fun environment.
There's tons of studies that have been done on lowering of cortisol levels of children, and especially with children of veterans, often growing up in a household that can be a more stressful place, to be able to have an outlet where they can be outside, fresh air, horses around them, and just growing in that confidence.
Horses are really unique. They're very intuitive to people. They're very emotionally intelligent. They're very emotional animals, very in tune to people. They have a great way of reading people as well. They can pick up on if you're feeling nervous or scared or excited. They're very reflective to how you feel. And so it's a great way to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, because they'll let you know.
When you're riding bareback, it's really important to think about keeping your thighs nice and snug.
Watch your spacing. Remember 1 to 2 horse lengths in between. Nice work. Yep, then you're gonna go through the blue barrels, and you can weave through them, and you can walk through them.
Before we came to Central Oregon, we were based out of Portland. So we were renting an office in the city, we were having to pay to board horses, and it was getting to be exceptionally expensive. And so what it came down to was an opportunity to have a facility that we can grow programs out, that we could have the equine program on our own property, that we can continue to operate during a time that nobody really knew kind of what was happening next. And so having our own facility gave us the freedom to continue serving the families that we care about.
It's so fun to see parents come and talk to each other, and being able to kind of share stories, watch their kids together is a really neat thing. Talk about just life in general, having a place to come and to really connect with people. Obstacles.
I really like riding the horse because it's the best thing ever, and it's so exciting.
By supporting families of veterans on this property through the equine program, it really gives us the opportunity to show that importance. So we're not just supporting their kids, but we're supporting their families. They're having a community here, and building that strong family foundation builds a strong veteran. And that is something that we very much believe in, is supporting the family, supporting the veteran, and that cohesiveness together.
All right, folks, welcome. We're here tonight. We got a good special event going on for you here. Normally, we have the hometown heroes happening here at Coast to Coast Racing, but tonight we got the Coast to Coast Racing and a catalytic recovery. They presented from the dirt track of Charlotte, the Chris Yacklon Memorial Super Dirt Week charity event, and supporting the veterans of Mission 22. Now, last night, if you tuned in to the Coast to Coast, they had some qualifying races. Tonight's races here are some more qualifying races. Last chance showdown and a pole style scramble to set it up for the big race tomorrow night, which will be obviously here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network on YouTube. First off, we got the 358 modifieds. Basically, the short blocks of the big block series. But we do got big blocks coming around after this. What'll happen here is we got the last chance qualifier showdown. Then we're going to have to switch over to another server real quick. But what happens here is the top three of these guys advance on. And it's basically a, excuse me, I think I got it backwards. It's pole shuffle one. Right. Pole shuffle one. This here is actually to set their starting positions for tomorrow night. We'll get it right in a minute. So I got up in the booth with me. Got a guy y'all ain't heard in a long time. Old Nick Vick up here. Nicholas Vickery. Used to yell about him on the track a lot. And then we got Corey B up here with me. That's the main man. You'll hear a lot of them talking throughout the race as now we're getting started for the grid. Guys, gonna be a good night. Gridding this thing up. These guys here are battling for a starting spot of how they're gonna start tomorrow night. Man, let these guys, man, show on the road.
Absolutely, here we go. We got them all up on the grid here. Brian Lawson, he's gonna set on the pole for this pole shuffle. He'll have Ryan Beagle to his outside. Isaac Slass, he's going to roll off in third. Brandon Templeton, he's got fourth. Kurt Schatz and Roger Craig right there in the back. Or, well, maybe not Roger Craig.
Yep, I think we're set up for a really good shuffle here. I'm not exactly sure how many laps. It looks like it's 10 laps here. So, the track state I think carried over from practice. So it should be really interesting to see how these guys kind of play out and kind of as they jockey for positions, seeing whether they want to start on the bottom or the top. It could be a little bit of strategy. These guys probably all watched last night's qualifier races. So, some of them may want to start on the outside, some of them may want to start on the inside. So we may see guys pushing for positions, and we may also see guys coasting because they're starting in a position that they want to be in the right row for tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 laps is your distance here for the 358 pole shuffle. The winner, they get to start out on the front, man. That's going to be the key position. You'll be in control for the feature tomorrow night. Right now, Brian Lawson, he's going to be the one in control for this pole shuffle.
It looks like they're going to get the one to go this time by. So as they come around off turn 4 next lap, it'll be green flag in the air, and these guys will be ready to go. Like I said, jockeying for positions, trying to make it to the front, start on the front row for tomorrow night's 75-lap championship feature.
There's a guy I ain't heard name of, man, for a while there. Ryan Beagle.
Yeah, he ran last night, and as you can tell, being in the pole shuffle, he did pretty good here in the 358s. I wasn't able to see where he started or where he finished in the big blocks, but I imagine he's somewhere up front.
Hey, Corey, you'll get to know him as a bottom feeder there, Corey.
Oh boy. All right, well, here we go.
Green flag.
Barney has a green flag out. Here we go. Lawson, not quite as jumpy on the start. Beagle was nosed out ahead. Now Lawson, he's going to nose out ahead down the back chute. No, give to Beagle. Once again, they are going at it too wide.
Nose to tail, right now the guys in that second row really don't have anywhere to go, so they're waiting for the guys in front of them to kind of settle out, and then they can start working.
Absolutely, you got Lawson. He's still rolling the bottom line. Beagle up top in the lead. He's got pressure from behind. That's Brandon Templeton there in the white and green numbered car.
Coming off turn 4 that time, they were almost 4 wide. Salas had a really good run on the bottom, but had to back out. Thought wiser in the situation.
Bottom maybe not coming in quite yet as Templeton is trying to work it in. You see Beagle, he's riding through the middle out in the front of this 5-car field. But it's a good race right now. Templeton holding on to second there. Lawson, he's still marred back here in the middle. He'll find on the high side in front of Isaac Salas. Salas in front of Kurt Satcher. Oh, and contact there. Satcher into the back of Salas. Oh my.
Let's see if he can get that machine upright. Looks like the green flag's going to stay out.
Yeah, he did the beetle roll.
So we'll stay green here. Beagle, Templeton, Lawson, your 3 still out at the front, going out. Lawson now looking on the inside of Templeton, looking for second. And like you said, Vickery, maybe drivers trying to sandbag and pick a different line to start in for the feature tomorrow night.
Yeah, it looks like Templeton there had to check up quite a bit. It looked like he got a really good run there into 2 behind Beagle, but he can't really give up a whole lot of room because Lawson's right there ready to pounce.
Absolutely, you don't want to give up too much of a groove and too much speed, especially in one of these lower powered automobiles. It's so hard to make a recovery as we're down to 2 to go this time by.
Yeah, it looks like Beagle's pulled away just a little bit here, so I think we'll have to keep our eyes locked on Lawson and Templeton as they try to figure out who's going to finish second and who's going to finish third.
White flag in there for Beagle. Templeton, he's got one more shot at it if he wants to take the pole away for tomorrow's night event. Lawson, one more shot at it for his second spot, starting position. Not quite enough momentum for either of them. Beagle, he's going to hold on for the win. Templeton second, Lawson third. Give it to Satcher for 4th, and Isaac Salas will officially round out 5th.
Nice. Now that should swing us here tonight for our Chris Yacklon Memorial here tonight for the veterans and the Mission 22 Super Dirt Week. Those right there, so that should help them. I'm not quite sure where that would put Ryan Beagle. Maybe Nick would know, or we'll definitely know by tomorrow night where I would put him on pole-wise as far as the top 3. So trying to see, I think now pretty much going to have to switch servers, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right. Folks, don't go anywhere. Right back here, we're going to switch out servers. Be right back, and then we've got the guys here that are actually going to qualify in still. So we'll be right back here in a few.
Yes, that's why. So we'll just give them a quick brush, and then we'll get our stuff on, and then we have like an obstacle course. And so
Why I'm smiling.
you don't know why you're smiling. We always smile. Smiling's the best.
The Mission 22 Equine program is a riding program for children of veterans. We also serve grandchildren or direct family members of veterans.
It's a lot of fun, and I've always loved horses.
We have private lessons and group lessons, but it's not just riding. Riding lessons, people just think that that's all it is. But we have the opportunity here to really build confidence, to lower stress levels, to give them an outlet and opportunity to spend time doing something healthy and productive. Mission 22 is really based on the foundation of the importance for family. It's why we're supporting families here. So in a time where kids' programs are being canceled left and right, school is shut down, they're not able to be around their friends, being able to have an opportunity where they can just be together and let go of that stress and be around people. Again, honestly, it's just really that simple, being around people. Who would have thought that it was something as simple as that?
That's okay. You want to grab his reins and then I'll have you walk him forward. It's really a special thing to watch these kids come every week and build a partnership and a relationship with their horse. It lets them forget about everything that's going on in life, being able to come here, kind of shut the world out a little bit and have a really stress-free, fun environment.
There's tons of studies that have been done on lowering of cortisol levels of children, and especially with children of veterans, often growing up in a household that can be a more stressful place, to be able to have an outlet where they can be outside, fresh air, horses around them, and just growing in that confidence.
Horses are really unique. They're very intuitive to people. They're very emotionally intelligent. They're very emotional animals, very in tune to people. They have a great way of reading people as well, that they can pick up on if you're feeling nervous or scared or excited. They're very reflective to how you feel. And so it's a great way to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, because they'll let you know.
When you're riding bareback, it's really important to think about keeping your thighs nice and snug.
Watch your spacing. Remember 1 to 2 horse lengths in between. Nice work. Yep, then you're gonna go through the blue barrels and you can weave through them and you can walk through them.
Before we came to Central Oregon, we were based out of Portland. So we were renting an office in the city, we were having to pay to board horses, and it was getting to be exceptionally expensive. And so what it came down to was an opportunity to have a facility that we could grow programs out, that we could have the equine program on our own property, that we can continue to operate during a time that nobody really knew kind of what was happening next. And so having our own facility gave us the freedom to continue serving the families that we care about.
It's so fun to see parents come and talk to each other, and being able to kind of share stories, watch their kids together is a really neat thing, talk about just life in general, having a place to come and to really connect with people.
Obstacles. I really like riding the horse because it's the best thing ever, and it's so exciting.
By supporting families of veterans on this property through the equine program, it really gives us the opportunity to show that importance. So we're not just supporting their kids, but we're supporting their families. They're having a community here, and building that strong family foundation builds a strong veteran. And that is something that we very much believe in, is supporting the family, supporting the veteran, and that cohesiveness together.
Before they go fast and start to power slide, we salute you with the big blocks, 4 wide, the ground pounding, earth shaking, window rattling beasts of the Northeast. It's the big block butterfly Super Dirt Car Series.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here. That was a quick one, but that's what it is. Hey, all we're doing is we're setting the field for tomorrow night's big event. Chris Yacklon Memorial here tonight, Super Dirt Week. Well, we got one of the guys who finished up front in that last one, Brian Lawson. Brian's Joe White. You got a copy?
Hey, Joe, how are you?
Man, pretty good. Well, you had a good one. How's the track feeling for you?
Track was really fresh. We worked it in a little bit during that quick warm-up, but with only 5 cars on the track, there's only so much we could do with it. I thought the low line was going to be a little quicker, but turned out kind of that middle was a little faster, and I knew Ryan was probably going to get me at the start, but when Brandon got by me, I figured, all right, I'm going to jump up there and join those guys in the middle, and then Isaac and Kurt got together, which was unfortunate. I think all 5 of us kind of would have been right there close at the end. But, it was a fun race. I'm happy to finish third. Looking forward to starting third.
Well, what about, are you anywhere in for the big blocks too tonight?
I'm done racing for tonight. I qualified last night. I'm starting 12th in the big block, so I'm in both of them and looking forward to it.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, man, you got anybody you want to thank out there for a good run here so far?
Absolutely. Got to thank you guys for the broadcast as always. Got to say hi and thanks to Nick for coming back on board. Coast to Coast Racing League for doing this fundraiser and all they do. My guys at Venom Racing, Dean, Super Dirt Car Series, Napa Auto Parts, Magnum Race Design, and especially Mission 22. Everything they do for our veterans. Got to thank them.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. Brian Lawson, man, pulling it off pretty good in the earlier top 10 kind of running, kind of qualifying showdown to set the field for tomorrow night. This one here, B-Main, these guys are trying to set themselves up also to still get into the show. And we're going to have 2 different races. The first one here is going to be a small 20-lap one. Then we're going to slip over to another server and another really quick 20-lap one. Guys, I tell you what, it's been a pretty good one so far. Nick, you had a lot of action last night and a slew of guys trying to qualify for the big blocks and for the 358s here. So, how was it last night? I mean, how was the guys, kind of temperament and so forth on this track?
Yeah, we saw quite a few races last night, and honestly, I was really surprised with the patience of a lot of the drivers. I think going into last night, they were trying to hang around that 6th spot. That was the last, I guess out of each heat race, the top 6 transferred, but I think tonight we're going to see quite a bit more aggression because, this is your last chance to make the race. So, if you don't finish in the top 3 here in one of these 2 last chance qualifiers, then, you'll be watching this race from the stands, with everybody that's going to be broadcasting. So, I think, like I said, we're going to see some aggression. We're going to see some guys trying different lines, trying to make their way through the field. These fields are going to be quite a bit bigger than what we saw last night. So, quite a few more cars on the track, and then also a lot less time to make the race.
I know we got about looks like 15 cars out here trying to get in only 3 spots. And Gloria, man, I know sometimes getting on these dirt tracks like it is, it can be can be hairy at times, especially when you've got, 15 cars, only 3 spots. I mean, the urgency back in the back. What would be your mentality if you're sitting back there wearing 10th, 13th place?
Well, if you're starting deep in the field here, you get 20 laps. That's a little over a lap per car that you got to pass. Just go right on through everybody. Use them as your brake, use them as your wall, use them as your door.
Yeah, and Nick brought that up. Aggression is the biggest part. I mean, we don't want to see anybody ever wreck anybody. But like what you mentioned, y'all said, the number one word is you've got to be aggressive, you got to be urgent. Normally I talk about patience a lot. Y'all hear me up here, got to be patient, do this and that, especially on that, the asphalt side of stuff. But you're right, 20 laps, you've got a long way to go if you're in the back to try to make it. And sometimes, you get panic mode, make little mistakes. But, man, going to be a good one here. Been a good week so far. Tomorrow night, tune in. Coast to Coast Racing Network. Got a lot of great sponsors on board here. Definitely, and our main one out there, Catalytic Recovery. Hey, got those guys coming on board with Coast to Coast Racing here tonight with the Chris Yacklon Memorial Super Dirt Week here. Charity event for the veterans in Mission 22. Got to give a shout out to Mission 22. They do a lot for the veterans out there, and I'm not a veteran myself, but man, I definitely appreciate all veterans. I love the military, like what they do. I think we got the baddest one in the world, so definitely, man, appreciate all the veterans out there. And these drivers here tonight, it's gonna be fun, and I think y'all two guys are gonna be in for a chaotic race here.
Absolutely, should be a good 20-lap event. You see these drivers, they're all out here trying to work in the track a little bit, get the track state to a raceable condition. I mean, not saying it wasn't a raceable condition once a water truck left the surface, but, a little bit better raceable conditions.
Well, what's your think on it there, Nick?
Yeah, I think we're going to see drivers trying different lines. We see them already kind of working up the track a little bit here. Last night it kind of went back and forth. The bottom was really fast early on, and then as the track kind of wore in, they started moving up the racetrack. And there at the end of the race, actually, some guys started running the bottom. I think it was a combination of them trying to block sliders, guys trying to get into the top 6. But I think also, they were really holding their own on the bottom. So. I don't know really where these guys are going to run here for these last chance qualifiers.
Well, 20 laps, you talk about the bottom. Is that enough time to maybe get 2 crews going here? Because that is kind of quick. Normally we're used to seeing bigger feature races, and then by the end of it, you see maybe a different line coming in. If the bottom is the biggest one here right now, because some of the guys are trying to get that top side cushion going. But is there enough time to get that cushion?
Yeah, I think it's tough to say until we actually get the cars on the track. I think I saw a press release earlier where they stated that they were going to let the track conditions roll over from practice. So, these guys out here turning laps now, they are running the track in. I think they might clean the marbles off before the feature, but yeah, we saw both lines being decently fast last night. And, if let's say the middle is dominant, guys that are trying to make moves have to try a different line, because if not, you're just following guys around and you're not going to make up any ground that way.
Well, folks, I tell you what, here we go. I'm going to hand it over to these guys because we're set to go racing. Corey, man, we got the grid up here for you. 20 laps here tonight. The top 3 only going to have to go to the show. Rest are going home.
Absolutely 20 laps of distance here for these drivers in B main number 1 for the 358. On the pole, you're going to have the 014. That's GJ Boydell on his outside. Marshall Dugan. Row 2, Aaron Turkey, Kelly Wheeler. Row 3, Mike Grandy, Jacob Moose, the Moose Man, one of the Mooses. Row 4, Dylan Kinsey, Patrick Boyce. Row 5, you'll have Logan Wentz, Michael Machiccio, something like that. Row number 6, you'll have Colin Johnson, Gary Sigelco. Row 7, Bill Calder and Ed Harris will round out this B main number 1. Should be a good one here, Nicholas. What do you think?
Yeah, I was just sitting here looking at the names, and I ran in the Coast to Coast for several years, and I recognize a lot of these names, so I think we're in for a good show here. A lot of these guys They're really, really quick. So, it's really just a balance of, who's the quickest, and I think it's sometimes who can maybe stick the car where in normal circumstances it may not need to go, because like Joe said earlier, there's only 3 spots, but there's 14 guys. So the math doesn't really math really well. These guys are going to have to make some moves to try to get into the top 3 and finish on the podium.
Absolutely going to be a lot of aggression early on, late on, mid on, wherever you want to have it on. But GJ Boydell, he's going to start out pretty good here. He's got the best seat.
Yep. Him and Dugan, in that last race, the outside of the front row got a really, really good start, and that actually ended up securing the win. So it could all be decided here in the when the green flag drops.
Very well could be decided early on. You want to get out as far front as you possibly can, but there's always that chance they could throw a caution. Here we go. GJ Marshall.
Yep, we're seeing a little bit of the same thing here. The outside line does pull ahead, but GJ's able to fight back on the bottom there coming out of 2.
Oh, we're going to crash at the midfield. A couple of them.
Mike Grandy, looks like Mike Grandy. Let's go back there on the Malcolm Mills replay. We'll check it out right fast. Mike Grandy looks like Colin Johnson and Bill Calder. What happened here? Calder. Oh, bumped him in the butt. And it's, that, Nick, man, guys, it's kind of just a domino effect from there.
Yeah, it's really bad when that happens in the middle of the field, because a lot of the guys in the back have already set their cars for the corner, and they don't really have very many options to try to avoid it. And, to happen on lap 1 like this in a last chance qualifier, if you go get your car fixed, you got to go to the back. So, you might see some guys coming from the back now that may not be as happy as they were right before the green flag dropped.
And, y'all spoke of it too there, Corey, man. Y'all spoke on it a little bit. Y'all said aggressiveness. You've got to. I mean, you've only got, 18 laps. And to get through the field for top 3 positions here or not, you're going home.
Yeah, you got to be aggressive, but, Joe, Nick, you cannot be in a top 3 finishing position if you're sitting in the pit road.
Very true.
I think I say that on Friday nights a lot, don't I, Corey? Look at these guys out there on that Battle Royale race. I was like, you got to be there at the end to win it. What's the word we used at one time? You got to be, passive aggressive, I guess is what we were calling it one time, Corey.
Yeah, that's what we were calling it. Like a couple of 2-miler tracks where they were kind of pack racing, kind of not pack racing. But here, you definitely got to be super aggressive. There is no passive aggressive at Charlotte dirt track. Look at this, GJ Boydell. He's going to get a whale of a jump over the field, put him out front. Aaron Turkey going to take advantage on the bottom. Leave Dugan, Moose side by side. That's for the final transfer spot down the back stretch in turn 3.
Yeah, it was a really, really good shakeup there of the top 4 or 5 drivers. Like you said, DJ got a really good jump there. He's 3 or 4 car lengths in front of the second place car there as they go into 1.
Now here comes Dugan. He's going to look on the inside of Turkey. He's got pressure from behind. That's Moose in the white with purple numbers. Kelly Wheeler now on the high side, trying to make that groove work right below the marbles. It is a good battle for a transfer spot, but right now GJ Boydell, he likes what he's seeing back there. He's like, yeah, keep on battling. Let me stretch out this lead.
Yeah, he definitely does not want to see a caution right now. As right there around that transfer spot, the second and third place, it's just a lot of cars on top of each other.
Oh, Dugan a little bit into the door of Turkey. That sends him up the track. Allows Kelly Wheeler now to get to the inside of Dugan, and they are going at it. They are beating doors down. That's for 4th, not even a transfer spot right behind them.
Yeah, like we've been talking about all night, these guys know that this is their last chance to get into the race, so they're going to do whatever they can to try to stay around that 3rd spot.
Look now, Jacob Moose, one of the Moose mans. Work on the high side of Kelly Wheeler. That's for the transfer spot. Battle is on. Moose on the high side. Wheeler down low. Dugan, he's pulling away from these two just slightly.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier with multiple lines of racing. We've got guys running the bottom and the top, and it doesn't really look like either one is really, really better than the other.
Yeah, looks to be about dead even whether you're on the bottom or the high side. It looks like everybody's second on back to about 6. They're all running the high side. GJ Boydell, he's rolling the bottom up at the front, but they have got a nice little gap back to 4 for Jacob Moose.
Yeah, and it looks like, I believe that's maybe Turkey. It looks like he's, running a different line as well, throwing a slider, it looks like, as he goes to the top here in 3 and 4.
Caution out, guys. We got Dylan. Looks like Dylan Kinsey. Go back on the Malcolm Mills replay and let's see what happened to those guys. They're in the back. Oh, he got punched in the back. Pat's blue ribbon and Bush. I don't know what kind of combination that would be, but it didn't turn out too well on the track.
Now, luckily, he did land on all 4s, though, so if he can go in and get a quick repair, there is still 10 laps, but I did notice under the last caution that caution laps were counting. So that's something else to think about here.
They're not.
They're not counting. No, they're not counting.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, that's the only reason I know I saw it on that lap 18. That's what. I was making sure, too. I was looking at that.
So GJ Boydell.
Even faster there, Nick.
Aww.
I just wanted to make sure these guys weren't burning up all their laps, under caution, because then that gives you even less time to race, right? So it's good that it's not, but get a full 20 laps of parkour racing with these guys trying to make the feature for tomorrow night.
Guys, real quick, while running caution, tonight here we got this Chris Yacklon Memorial here tonight, Super Dirt Week. Awesome running for these guys. We still got the big block guys coming out. That's the big boys, but you mentioned it when we've mentioned it all race here. With only 10 laps to go, you're sitting back there in 10th place, even maybe 6th, 7th, 8th place spot. Already seeing it's hard to pass here. Do you start feeling like you're in trouble?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're back there in the deep field, but look, they're kind of too wide, but single file in some places. I'm not sure if they are going to double or if they were supposed to get a single here. Guess double. Here we go. GJ Boydell, he liked however they restarted up, reformed the line. So did Jacob Moose, now up to 2nd. Dugan, he is under pressure. Here comes Turkey down through the middle on the outside of Kelly Wheeler and inside of Dugan. Dugan gets moved out of the way. Oh my.
These guys are definitely not holding back anything here. They know that laps are running out and they're running out of time.
Oh, you seen it right there. Turkey got turned sideways, was able to save it though. We stayed green, but that's going to allow the advantage to go to Kelly Wheeler. He's going to hold on to 3rd right now. Taking off lap 13. He's got pressure from behind. That's Logan Wentz in the white, purple, and blue car. Pink car, whatever.
Yeah, it does look like Moose is making a pass on GJ Boydell. I think he was actually leading at the line that time.
Absolutely. Moose up on the high side, utilizing that marble cushion. He's definitely got a quicker car than GJ Boydell, running a 16.274 that lap. GJ ran a 16.531, so definitely 0.3 quicker, and we talk about it every week. Being that much quicker is going to allow you to stretch out your lead tremendously.
Yeah, it looked like GJ was still running the bottom there, so maybe the bottom is starting to go away and the top's starting to become the dominant line. As we see GJ now in this camera view, we can see he moved to the top as well.
Yeah, he's trying to figure it out for tomorrow night. This is definitely a good time to do it. He has a gap back to Kelly Wheeler. Wheeler is still under pressure from behind. That's Logan Wentz. Marshall Dugan, who was punted out of the way for a top 3 earlier on. He's right there behind these 2 drivers. He's going to try to look. He's got to take advantage of it and take advantage real quick as we're going to come to 2 to green. 2 to go. This time by.
Yeah, we saw Logan Wentz throw a really shallow slider line there, trying to see kind of where Wheeler was on the track. Maybe he may be setting him up for maybe a white flag slider here in turns 1 and 2 or 3 and 4.
One more time around for Jacob Moose out front, white flag in the air. One more shot for Logan Wentz or Dugan to try to get into the show, but not looking good right now. Wentz going to send it down on the bottom. Not enough momentum, going to be hold on for Wheeler in the transfer spot. GJ Boydell second. Moose will pick home the win and be main number 1.
That's a good race. Really good race, guys. I'll tell you what, we're going to get these top. This time we're going to get the top 3 up here. Talk to them. So, the one thing I think I learned by watching this, guys, is it's tough to pass at this track. And if you're marred back in the back, you're going to have a long, long night to get to the front.
Yeah, definitely looking a lot harder to pass in a 358.
Do you think the big blocks are going to be a little bit better with more power?
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, I think it go either way though. I mean, the big blocks, if you get them spun up too fast, you're just as slow as if you were in the wrong line, right? So, I think with the 358s, it's all about the momentum, and we saw a lot of guys there trying to throw a slider and keep their momentum up, and maybe making a little bit of contact where on a normal race night they may not do so. So, I don't know. I think it's just a product of the 358s. These guys know that it's hard to make up ground, so they need to do what they can to stay up front and try to stay within that podium finishing spot.
Let's race 1 here of the 358s, but let's bring up this man here who capped it off. Jacob Joyce and Booth got a copy.
I got a copy.
Well, man, I tell you, we call you the Moose, man. You definitely was rumbling. Now, did the caution help you get up on Boydell or not? Because we're seeing it's kind of tough to pass out there.
Yeah, it's really tough to pass, but he was just running the bottom, and I knew if I got to the top, I would have been faster with him, and I don't think the caution helped a little bit for me getting closer, but I felt I was like 2-3 tenths faster than him, so I think I would have caught him anyways on the high side, and he was not leaving the bottom, so I felt pretty good just getting up there. I just had to watch out for the people just throwing sliders to the moon out there, and I'm just glad I stayed alive.
What's this do for the psyche for tomorrow night?
It pumps me up because I had 2 really bad heat races yesterday. Got caught up in wrecks both heat races, so this proves my speed that I should be in there. So just hoping for a good race, good feature tomorrow.
There you go. Able to put it in, get it in the show. You got anybody you want to thank for the night?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fast Ace Hot Rods, Musa Racing, Graham Racing, both my teammates, all 3 of my teammates, and it's just pretty cool to be in this thing.
There you go. That's old Jacob Moose, man. There we call him. He looked good. He put it in victory lane. Let's bring up a second place man there. Let's Corey. You want to get a word with him?
Hey there, GJ. You got a copy on me?
I do, sir.
Well, man, you started pole this B main number 1, was able to hold on to second, but just talk us through. You had a few restarts there, maybe playing a little mind games there with everybody.
No, I went where I was supposed to go, and that was it.
Well, I mean, you went when you were supposed to go, but definitely had pressure all race from behind. Did you just not think the high side was going to come in?
Yeah, I thought the low side would hang in there pretty well the whole race, but once I got past, I thought, okay, we're going to the top, and that was it.
Well, either way, man, you still hang in there for second, and you got anybody like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Joe Canellis and his business. We let the dogs out for you for helping out this week.
There you go, man. Second place man, GJ Boydell, man, doing what we need. Let's bring up third place man here. Kelly, Joy, move to copy.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, you was able to hang on, get that final transfer spot, but you had a lot of pressure behind you. Was you a little worried there at the end?
Yeah, I was worried there. I was nervous. First time I've really ran a race like this, and I surprised myself, really.
We got in the show, so that's the first obstacle there. So how you feeling about tomorrow night?
I'm feeling pretty good. I know I'm starting way in the back, but you know, anything can happen.
Oh, absolutely. Like you just said, you got to have that confidence to know you can get up there. But got in the show, you got anybody you want to thank for tonight?
I want to thank DNS Remodeling and Siding, Ingersoll Rand. I want to thank Murano Racing for giving me a shot to do this. I want to thank you all for doing what y'all do here. I want to thank Coast to Coast for putting this on for a good cause. And I want to thank A&J Landscaping. And I guess that's about it.
There you go. It's Kelly Wheeler, man, doing the thing, making the show tonight. Well, folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here in a few. We're going to switch over to another server, and we got 3 more drivers going to try to get their chance to get in. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yes, that's why. So we'll just give them a quick brush, and then we'll get our stuff on, and then we have like an obstacle course. And so
Why I'm smiling.
you don't know why you're smiling. We always smile. Smiling's the best.
The Mission 22 Equine program is a riding program for children of veterans. We also serve grandchildren or direct family members of veterans.
It's a lot of fun, and I've always loved horses. So.
We have private lessons and group lessons, but it's not just riding. You know, riding lessons, people just think that that's all it is. But we have the opportunity here to really build confidence, to lower stress levels, to give them an outlet and opportunity to spend time doing something healthy and productive. Mission 22 is really based on the foundation of the importance for family. It's why we're supporting families here. So in a time where kids' programs are being canceled left and right, school is shut down, they're not able to be around their friends, you know, being able to have an opportunity where they can just be together and let go of that stress and be around people. Again, honestly, it's just really that simple, being around people. You know, who would have thought that it was something as simple as that?
That's okay. You want to grab his reins, and then I'll have you walk him forward. It's really a special thing to watch these kids come every week and build a partnership and a relationship with their horse. It lets them forget about everything that's going on in life, being able to come here, kind of shut the world out a little bit, and have a really stress-free, fun environment.
There's tons of studies that have been done on lowering of cortisol levels of children, and especially with children of veterans, often growing up in a household that can be a more stressful place, to be able to have an outlet where they can be outside, fresh air, horses around them, and just growing in that confidence.
Horses are really unique. They're very intuitive to people. They're very emotionally intelligent. They're very emotional animals, very in tune to people. They have a great way of reading people as well, that they can pick up on if you're feeling nervous or scared or excited. They're very reflective to how you feel. And so it's a great way to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, because they'll let you know.
When you're riding bareback, it's really important to think about keeping your thighs nice and snug.
Watch your spacing. Remember 1 to 2 horse lengths in between. Nice work. Yep, then you're gonna go through the blue barrels, and you can weave through them, and you can walk through them.
Before we came to Central Oregon, we were based out of Portland. So we were renting an office in the city, we were having to pay to board horses, and it was getting to be exceptionally expensive. And so what it came down to was an opportunity to have a facility that we can grow programs out, that we could have the equine program on our own property, that we can continue to operate during a time that nobody really knew kind of what was happening next. And so having our own facility gave us the freedom to continue serving the families that we care about.
It's so fun to see parents come and talk to each other, and being able to kind of share stories, watch their kids together is a really neat thing, talk about just life in general, having a place to come and to really connect with people.
Obstacles. I really like riding the horse because it's the best thing ever, and it's so exciting.
By supporting families of veterans on this property through the equine program, it really gives us the opportunity to show that importance. So we're not just supporting their kids, but we're supporting their families. They're having a community here, and building that strong family foundation builds a strong veteran. And that is something that we very much believe in, is supporting the family, supporting the veteran, and that cohesiveness together.
All right, folks, we're back here. All right, this is race number 2 of the. It's more or less a B main. I know it's a little bit different of the format here tonight, but what happened was last night they had all the heat races to qualify in for the mains tomorrow, and then the guys who didn't qualify last night are basically trying to qualify here right now. That's why we're having 2 different B mains. So the first one we saw earlier there as the Moose Man, he made it on. And top 3, again, the top 3 in this one go. Same scenario. Nothing's changed here. You're going to see it. It's hard to pass, hard to get going, but it's been a good one so far for the Krista Yacklon Memorial here. Super Dirt Week. Presenting with the veterans at Mission 22. Let's bring the grid up here because I know Corey's got it for us.
Absolutely, 20 laps of distance. It's going to be led off by your pole sitter for B main number 2, Harold Klump in the 60 machine. On his outside, Stefan Spies. Row number 2, Randall Dixon, Dan McLaren. Row 3, John Reiner, Terry Landis. Row 4, Jonathan Krupa, Barry Goldner. Row number 5, John Hine, Mike Cranmer. Row 6, you'll have Bob DeGood, Neil Strausser. Row 7, Paul Thompson, Sean Green, and rounding out the field, that's in the 15th spot. That will be the number 1 of Joe Canellas.
You know, Joe, thinking back to when I used to run Coast to Coast, there's a lot of guys in this I recognize their name. You know, the last group was strong, but this group's strong as well. So I think we're in for a really, really good last chance qualifier here.
Well, you know, it's good to be back. Good to be back doing the Hometown Heroes. I'm doing Topside Tuesday also. But, you know, the Hometown Heroes hasn't changed a lot. Still same format and everything. Like what you just said, definitely recognize a lot of. Got some new faces out here, it's true. But they got a lot of the old veterans out here, man. It's good to see them. Don't get to see some of the other ones that run like the Renegade or whatnot on those nights. But the Hometown Hero gang, pretty much, they kept a lot of the great veterans here.
Yep, between this field, there's a lot of wins and a lot of championships here in the last chance qualifier. And, you know, I think that just goes to show how difficult it is to really make one of these events with Coast to Coast. You know, Coast to Coast puts on a really great charity event every year. And, you know, I feel like every year the field gets stronger and stronger, and it's more and more difficult to make the race.
Yeah, you're right. And it just proved right there. You talk about right now, we got the top 3. We talked about it all race, or y'all two talked about it all race. The last qualifier, you've only got 3 positions. We've got, 15 cars out here? We've already seen how hard it is to pass. We saw the top line come in, so we're getting set to go green. I mean, it's going to be an interesting race. I mean, Speed's up front. He's a fast cat.
Absolutely going to be hard to get in. Like you said, 15 cars, 3 of them. They move on. Everybody else, they go home upset. Here we go. Harold Klump on the loud pedal, but Randall Dixon had a little bit of trouble right there on the green. He recovers, nice, but right now Terry Landis, he'll move up to the transfer spot. It's the battle for the transfer. Dixon down low, Landis up top. Give it to Landis right there.
Yeah, you know, we're already seeing 2 different lines. He gets a little upset there in the middle of the corner. Probably a caution there. Yep, there it is in 1 and 2.
It'll be Paul, also hope I said it right, Thompson. And, John Rayner. You're also right, he's in it involved. Let's go back here to Malcolm Hill's replay. Do it. See that? 2 wide, almost 3 wide. Oh, it's a check up in the front there. And those 2 just got involved. He ran over the donuts. That's what I kind of tell him. So basically, just again, got that accordion effect. This trackman is narrow. You 2 know that. And when you start seeing cars slide around, going sideways on it, not much room to go.
Yeah, a little bit narrower than some tracks, but definitely a lot wider than a lot of them as well at the same time. I mean, you got some room to play with, but not as much as, say, like an Eldora, maybe in Knoxville that we see regularly on the Hometown Heroes night.
Absolutely. Got to give a good shout out to some of the other sponsors. A&J, Flatline Racing, Miles Farm Company out there, and that's one there. And it is, Ahala Mobile. Hope I said it right. Ahala Mobile. Is it Kahala?
It's Valhalla.
Oh, Valhalla. Okay, appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm having a hard time reading the font on it. So Valhalla Mobile out there here tonight. Some of the great sponsors. And we got plenty more out here, but got to give a shout out to that Catalytic Recovery coming on board here, presenting it tonight with the Coast to Coast Racing Network, our Coast to Coast Racing League here at the Dirt Track of Charlotte. Chris Yacklon Memorial Super Dirt Week charity event, supporting the veterans and the Mission 22. Gotta love Mission 22 for everything they do for the veterans. Pace trucks in, guys. Are going green.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Harold Klump still out at the front. He'll see the green flag on the loud pedal once again. He gets a nice little jump out ahead of Stephen Spees, but here comes Terry Landis looking on the inside, out at turn number 2. He's got pressure from behind. That's Randall Dixon trying to rerun the wall line. Not enough momentum up there quite yet for Dixon. Landis is going to hang on so far for the final transfer spot.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen Spees is running really, really high up there as well, trying to make up some ground there on Klump. Like you said, Klump got a really good restart there. He's able to fire first, so just trying to build that gap now.
Yes, he is. Klump out front right now. He's got pressure on the high side forming up. That's Stephen Spees in that gray and orange 358 modified. Almost maybe could have thought about giving Klump the bumper, but thought better of it. Didn't want to put the left front tire in the quarter panel. Now Spees takes away the lead from Klump. Klump, he's going to have to refigure it out. Contact for the transfer. That was Landis getting booted out of the way from Dixon. We might have a wreck forming at the back. We got a car around. We did got a caution.
Oh, yeah, we do. Go back here. Looks like Bob DeGood and Mike Cranmer. Unfortunately, see what happens on the Malcolm Mills replay here. A little contact in front. Looks like Cranmer up on the hill there. He's in that 70 machine. And then, boom! Oh, that's a good two-wheel ride. Well, Bob DeGood been showing off out here tonight. Unfortunate for him because, like we was talking about earlier, you get in any kind of trouble, you just do not have the time to make up here, especially with 14 laps might sound like a lot, but that'll go by real quick on the short track.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're already 7 laps in. Stephen Spees, he was able to charge on the outside of Klump there that last run, take away the lead. He'll be in control for this next restart.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they go single file or double file here when they go green. I'm not quite sure. I can't quite see the pace truck if he's going in this lap or they have one more. It looks like one more.
I would think they're going to go double file. I mean,
should be double.
But then again, you never know.
Yep. I mean, either way, those Steven has the right to fire it first. So I'm sure that he's hoping for a really good jump here going into one, and he can really have lane choice. I think him and Klump are both running the top side there before that caution come out.
Yeah, Spees and Klump, they were slightly pulling away from the other two behind them before we seen the caution flag be thrown. We are going to go double file for this one. Spees, he's going to have the best advantage of everybody. He'll be able to choose when he wants to fire off once they get to the restart box. Should be about here. Or maybe here. Here, okay. We found out the restart box. It's the last 2 donuts on the inside. You see it, Spees advantage.
Because they're 3 wide there for the transfer spot.
About
Who's
3
down on the
wide.
bottom, man, Nick? You know him, John Hine.
Yeah, John Hine making his way back through the field. I think he was actually caught up in that first caution, so makes you wonder if he got any damage or if he went in and fixed it and just made his way back through the field.
Well, you see it 2 wide. That's Dixon on the inside of Landis. Give Landis the snoot. The door moves him out of the way. That opens the opportunity for Barry Goldner now. Goldner in the all black with yellow highlight for a number. That a good battle right now for third.
Yeah, he definitely benefited from that contact there as John Hine is riding the wall there in 3 and 4.
Hine trying to see if that cushion is up there. Not as big of a cushion as he's probably used to in a longer race. Definitely got to be more cautious with it. Contact between Goldner Dixon and Hine upside down. Caution is out once again.
We rode with him that time, but we'll go back here on the Malcolm Mills replay and see again. Just unfortunate. John Hine rowing that boat coming through the field. Let's see what happened. He got up there on that cushion y'all were talking about. He's up on that wall, and I think the 36 in front of him got up there with him. And again, probably another kind of accordion effect between these guys. You see them, man, their nose to tail. Outside, the 36 got drove up, and then, yeah, from there, nothing you could do. And unfortunately, Hine, I know he's in VR, so hope he's dizzy.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't eat the nachos here before the feature. You know.
Yeah, I mean, coming through the field, man, it's a heartbreak right there. Going to have to go home here tonight again. But that's what you got to do, guys. Y'all talked about it all night long here for this race. It's so hard to pass. You've got to put the pedal to the metal. You've got it. You get a sense of urgency, but that urgency, you still got to be clean because you got to be there at the end. I mean, Spees, Klump, Dixon, they know what they're doing right now. Barry Goldner there, Terry Landis, you know those names pretty good there, Nick. Bob DeGood, and look at Bob DeGood. Big got caught in that wreck early on. Look at him.
Yeah, it looks like he's scored in 7th right now, and it looks like Goldner may have lost out a little bit there. I think he was up to 3rd right before that caution come out.
Yeah, just timing of when the caution was thrown. We go back to the last scored lap. Under 10 to go here. We're going to go single file. So definitely good for Spees out front. He'll have a good advantage. And remember, he can afford to drop back one spot if need be. And he wants to hang on here.
Yep, I definitely think the front 3 are trying to run away and hide here. You know, they don't want to be anywhere close to anybody. You know, the guys on the podium last race mentioned that they were trying to stay away from the sliders. So let's see if the top 3 here can do it finishing up this race.
You see, there's Spees and Klump. They both get a good launch out in front of Randall Dixon. Dixon, he's got a slight little gap, about a car length back to Barry Goldner. Goldner trying to look through the middle. Here comes Terry Landis on the inside, trying to look for the 4th spot over Goldner. Now he goes up top. So the inside lane just not quite there. We got another caution on track. Neil Schlosser.
Yeah, let's go back here on Malcolm Mills replay, see what happened. All a little bumping and grinding going on. Far inside of him, they're going kind of a slide job. He's hanging, and he just swung it in there a little bit too hard, and then bam, got clocked. All right, 6 to go, fellas.
Yeah, 6 to go, and I imagine that Dixon learned something on that last 3 start with when Spees and Klump want to go.
Yeah, you know, racing with Spees many a nights, I imagine, if not this restart, if there's another one, I imagine he's going to start changing up his restart zones, and he may go late or may go early, and you know, he's one of those guys that are really hard to read when you're following him and he starts the race. You know, he's got a lot of races under his belt, so you know, I think he already knows that he needs to change things up because he's only got so many restarts in the same spot before the guys behind him start catching on.
Found out something for y'all. It's only going to be double file for the first 2 cautions. So after the 2nd caution, it'll be single file from that point on.
Okay.
Put the note here for the rest of the night. Have to go single file, and also, you know, you also got to look at anything under 10 laps.
So after 2 cautions, if we're still under 10 laps in, they go single file. Anything after 10 laps, it's already single file anyways. So Speed's out front, Klump there in 2nd, Dixon in the all-important final transfer spot right now. Gonna have a good bit of racing left.
Yep,
see if he can get out there. Go ahead.
Now say notice Spees took the field to the top of the track that time to restart.
Yes, he did. He wanted to get that advantage. He does. Spees out front. Klump advantage over Dixon. Dixon has about a car and a half back to Goldner. Goldner, he's going to send it in, try to close in that gap. He doesn't have pressure from behind now from Landis quite yet, so he's got to start thinking about where he wants to make a pass.
Yeah, and if Dixon pulls up on Clump, there's really nowhere for Goldner to try to throw a slider at if he can't fit his car between them.
Absolutely. You see this battle that's heating up for second. That's Dixon right there behind Harold Clump. And Goldner, he wants to see these two start getting in a battle, allow him to reel back in, and Landis behind Goldner trying to put the pressure on him.
Yeah, Landis is pulling in really, really tight here, really fast. So let's see if he can get around Goldner and then maybe try to make a move on the podium.
2 to go this time for your race leader, Stefan Spies. He's been out front for most of this race. Harold Clump, he's got a gap back to Dixon. Dixon, he's got a good advantage now to Goldner. We're going to see the white flag now this time around for Spies. Just not enough time unless there's a mistake out of one of your top 3 for Goldner. This is the battle for 4th, though. Landis and Goldner not going to have momentum for Landis down in turn number 3, so give it to Dixon for 3rd. Clump 2nd. Spies, your winner.
Good finish. This is a good race here. Like I said, top 3 there. They're going to transfer on, and that's going to set the field for the 358s, guys.
We'll get a word with your top 3 here in B main number 2.
And then we should switch it on over. We're going to get some big block action.
Absolutely. Should be a pole shuffle for the big block guys.
Pretty much same scenario, same format. Pole shuffle, like I said, we're going to start that one off. And basically, that's going to how these guys are going to sit on pole. But first off, let's bring up old Spees up here. He did an outstanding job. Spees, Joe at the boot copy.
I got you, Joe.
Well, he was able to qualify in for tomorrow night. How's it feel?
Good, especially that's not really one of my better cars. The laps last night certainly helped, kind of figured some things out, and the track carrying over I think was a big help for me. I like the slick a little bit better, so lucky enough that started on the front row there and was just going to try to stay in that top 3, and found a line that worked, and off we went. So once you start getting restarts and things like that, it gives you a bit of an advantage. So real happy with the result.
What do you think about tomorrow night?
I'm thinking it's going to be a long way from where I'm likely starting, but it's just fun. Always like participating in the charity events. It's for a good cause, so win or lose doesn't really matter tomorrow. But should be fun one to try to work my way up through. Looking forward to it.
No doubt. You got anybody want to thank for a good finish here tonight?
Yep, as always, have to say, shout out and thanks to the Gambler teammates. In this particular case, we have to thank those that put the charity events together. Hopefully, we'll raise a decent amount of money for Mission 22. I think it's a great cause, and whatever we can do to assist there, I think is fabulous. So, I did have one question. Is Nick Vickery in the booth with us tonight?
He is right here. Yes,
I had a question for Nick, because I probably won't get a chance to talk to him again. Is it true that you were suspended and that's why you've left C2C? That's what we all heard. I get a lot of fans asking me that, and I say yes. It's the cheats that Nick used, and some other people are looking for those. So since you've got booted, maybe we can help those people out.
Yeah, they said I had too many stickers. I couldn't participate anymore.
Yeah, the other question I get a lot is, does Nick regret his feature winner tattoo now that he's not running in the league?
No, it's almost like a trophy. You get to see it forever.
That's right. Well, I wanted to say thanks and appreciate Nick coming back. We miss him. So thanks, Joe.
There you go, man. Night, old Speeds, man, doing an outstanding job. And, well, here we go. We're going to bring up second place, man. Old Clump tried. Just come up just a little short.
Hey there, Harold. You got a copy on me? Clump, you got a copy on me? We're going to give Clump here a few more moments.
Maybe shocked on that second place, making it to the finish tomorrow.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Hey there, Harold. Well,
Yeah,
man.
I heard that about being shocked. You're right.
Absolutely, you're definitely in shock here. You hang on to second and B main number 2. Put yourself in the big show for tomorrow night. Just talk us through your race here.
Nerve-wracking. Believe it or not, this stuff is really nerve-wracking. But it felt good. I let the 55 get by because I knew I'm better chasing somebody than I am out front. So wherever he went, I went. I figured we're either going to go together or go down together.
That's a good mentality there. And, you get a couple restarts early on, and it ruins it ruins, your mindset on how to run this track. What do you think when you get restarts like that?
I don't like them. I don't like, especially starting second, because I can't really see when the guy next to me is going to go. So I like the single file restarts.
All right, well, I've never heard anybody say that you prefer single file over double file. It's first for us up here in the booth.
I'm a totally different guy.
Well, either way, man, second place, you got anybody you'd like to thank here tonight for your outstanding performance?
First of all, you guys are putting on a great show with your commentary. It's been fantastic. The Coast to Coast League, the guys are great. All of our veterans everywhere, Mission 22. The wife for letting me do this, giving me the time to do it. And my Deluxe Plumbing and Heating is my main sponsor.
There you go, folks. That's your second place driver. That's Harold Clump.
Yeah, did an outstanding job with this guy here also, Randall Spirit, come home in third.
Hey there, Randall. You get a copy of me?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Oh, man, you started third. Hold on to third. You'll take the all-important final transfer spot in the 358 division here for the big block special this week. Talk us through that race.
I don't know. I was just trying to hold my line and hold that third spot. I'm not used to running under pressure like this. I've never ran the charity race. I haven't ran really super high class leagues before, but I have been running a couple and just consistently getting better.
Definitely good job out there tonight, and you held on. You got anybody like to thank?
I'd like to thank Marana Racing, Vitali Motorsports, let's see, A&J Landscaping, Hi Mom Lens for taking all the cool pictures, 2-0 for Forza, Gears Unlimited, and the old lady for letting me do this thing.
There you have it, folks. That's your third place driver. That was Randall Dixon.
Yeah, did a good job, man, out there tonight qualifying. Well, folks, don't go anywhere. We got big block action coming up here tonight for the Chris Yacklon Memorial Super Dirt Week here with supporting our veterans in Mission 22. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yes, that's why. So we'll just give them a quick brush, and then we'll get our stuff on, and then we have an obstacle course. And so
Why I'm smiling.
You don't know why you're smiling. We always smile. Smiling's the best.
The Mission 22 Equine program is a riding program for children of veterans. We also serve grandchildren or direct family members of veterans.
It's a lot of fun, and I've always loved horses. So.
We have private lessons and group lessons, but it's not just riding. Riding lessons, people just think that that's all it is. But we have the opportunity here to really build confidence, to lower stress levels, to give them an outlet and opportunity to spend time doing something healthy and productive. Mission 22 is really based on the foundation of the importance for family. It's why we're supporting families here. So in a time where kids' programs are being canceled left and right, school is shut down, they're not able to be around their friends, being able to have an opportunity where they can just be together and let go of that stress and be around people. Again, honestly, it's just really that simple, being around people. Who would have thought that it was something as simple as that?
That's okay. You want to grab his reins and then
I'll have you walk them forward. It's really a special thing to watch these kids come every week and build a partnership and a relationship with their horse. It lets them forget about everything that's going on in life, being able to come here, kind of shut the world out a little bit and have a really stress-free, fun environment.
There's tons of studies that have been done on lowering of cortisol levels of children, and especially with children of veterans, often growing up in a household that can be a more stressful place, to be able to have an outlet where they can be outside, fresh air, horses around them, and just growing in that confidence.
Horses are really unique. They're very intuitive to people. They're very emotionally intelligent. They're very emotional animals, very in tune to people. They have a great way of reading people as well, that they can pick up on if you're feeling nervous or scared or excited. They're very reflective to how you feel. And so it's a great way to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, because they'll let you know.
When you're riding bareback, it's really important to think about keeping your thighs nice and snug.
Watch your spacing. Remember 1 to 2 horse lengths in between. Nice work. Yep, then you're gonna go through the blue barrels and you can weave through them and you can walk through them.
Before we came to Central Oregon, we were based out of Portland. So we were renting an office in the city, we were having to pay to board horses, and it was getting to be exceptionally expensive. And so what it came down to was an opportunity to have a facility that we can grow programs out, that we could have the equine program on our own property that we can continue to operate during a time that nobody really knew kind of what was happening next. And so having our own facility gave us the freedom to continue serving the families that we care about.
It's so fun to see parents come and talk to each other, and being able to kind of share stories, watch their kids together is a really neat thing, talk about just life in general, having a place to come and to really connect with people.
Obstacles. I really like riding the horse because it's the best thing ever, and it's so exciting.
By supporting families of veterans on this property through the equine program, it really gives us the opportunity to show that importance. So we're not just supporting their kids, but we're supporting their families. They're having a community here, and building that strong family foundation builds a strong veteran. And that is something that we very much believe in, is supporting the family, supporting the veteran, and that cohesiveness together.
All right, folks, back here tonight for the Chris Yacklon Memorial Super Dirt Week here, supporting our veterans and Mission 22, and it's been interesting because we got all the 358s now qualified, set for tomorrow night's big show. Now we got the big blocks out here. Cars look the same, but definitely under the hood it is a lot different. Chassis maybe a little bit different, but we got this. It's just a qualifier here. Top 6 of, Corey informed me, already have qualified. Trying to set their starting position here. Everybody else trying to see what they can get. But, well, now, you talk about the big blocks, and I know Nick mentioned it earlier. Might be able to see these guys pass a little more. That's one thing I saw in those 358s. Hard to pass.
Yeah, definitely going to be a lot easier to power out of a mistake if you make one of these bigger horsepower, bigger power, big blocks.
Yeah, here it's really easy to get the car to spin up and you lose momentum. These cars aren't quite as momentum based. They've got quite a bit more power. But not only does that open up the opportunity for potentially more driver error, but also the track state's going to wear in differently. So, we see a couple names here that we saw in the last two to three races, including the last pole shuffle. And, these cars are completely different. So they can't use the same knowledge that they had from the previous 3 races in the races that we're going to see for the rest of the night tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, here we go. Let's grid these guys up, Corey, man. It's going to look like a good field here.
Yeah, good field. All 6 of them showed up. Isaac Salas, he'll be on the front row, starting pole. Joseph Grandy to his outside. Row 2, you'll see the 28. That's Jeff Sharp and Jeffrey Barker to his outside. And 4th, Stephen Spees, who just won a B-man in the 358 division. He'll roll off 5th. And then you got John Hine starting in 6th. So 6 of them. All of them are already locked in. This just sets the order of how they'll line up tomorrow night in the big block division.
Yep, I think we're in for a good race here. This one's a lot shorter than the other 2 that we're going to have in a few minutes. This one only being 10 laps. We talk about how in the last chance qualifiers, those guys, that's their last chance to get in. These guys, they're already logged in. So now, even if you finish last in this race, you're still starting the feature in 6th. So you may see a little bit more aggression here trying to get a better starting spot for the grid for the 100-lap race tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. Every spot is an extra row. Every spot is an extra spot in the feature tomorrow. So if you're back here in 6th like John Hine, you can improve by 5 spots.
Yeah, John doesn't have anything to lose. Worst case scenario, he starts where he qualified last night. So, I think we will see him trying to move up through the field, and then also Steven Spees there on the back row with him.
And you got to wonder also, if you're in, say, 2nd, do you want to start 2nd tomorrow night, or would you rather be on the inside behind your race leader in hopes that they can get a jump tomorrow night on the green flag?
Absolutely.
Here we go, Isaac Salas. He's going to lead this group off between the final 2 donuts. Here we go. Green flag is out. Salas, Grandy, side by side. Salas maybe going to throw the slider. Not enough for him. Grandy was able to hang in there. Not enough speed down in turn number 3, though, allows Salas to get out in front. Here comes Grandy to the inside of Salas down in turn number 1.
Yeah, these guys are starting the action here early. With it only being 10 laps, you got to make moves as quickly as you can.
Absolutely, got to make as many spots up as you possibly can. Short race and a lot quicker lap times, that's for sure.
Yeah,
they're running high 15s, low 16.
So they're really going back and forth, trading spots. Green's been on the bottom in 3 and 4, and I think Salas has been trying to, again, make the top work in 1 and 2, but it looks like Salas may have figured the line out and starting to pull away a little bit here.
Is Salas running about the middle groove there on turn 1, and he does the same down here in turn 3 and 4. Now the battle is on for a second. That's Jeff Sharp looking on the inside of Joseph Grandy, trying to take away 2nd. And Grandy is going to hold the momentum on the high side. Just not enough momentum down low quite yet.
Yeah, Salas is definitely enjoying what's happening behind him, because when those guys are battling side by side, they can't quite get the same momentum that he can when he has the whole track to work with.
Absolutely easier to pull away when you ain't having to fight with somebody for a position, but right now your top 3, they're all single file. Give 4th to Spees right now. He's single file as well. Hine back there in 5th. Barker just hanging on in 6th. Everybody's single file now.
Yeah, they've still got a few more laps to go here, 4 laps. Steven Spees is trying to dime in the corner there in 3 and 4 to try to get underneath Jeff Sharp there for 3rd.
Both Spees and Hine up 1 spot from where they started. Barker, he's fell back 2 from where he started this 10-lap pole shuffle. 2 to go.
Battle heating up there a little bit for that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They're all right on top of each other.
Speed's right behind Jeff Sharp. 1 last lap to try to get it done. Try to move yourself up into a 3rd place starting spot or potentially a 2nd place starting spot. Here we go. Last corner for Speeds on the inside of Jeff Sharp as Salas is going to hang on for the win. Not enough for Speeds. Give 2nd to Grandy. Sharp 3rd. Speeds will hold on to 4th. Hine 5th, and Barker, he'll get 6th.
Let's going to set them up for tomorrow. That'll be a good one, so we can get a word with these top 3 guys, because Now we're going to go over to our B main. We're going to switch over to some servers, go to our B main, and these are the guys who are trying to get into the show for tomorrow night. As it looks like we've got, well, what's that bump down there? But, waiting for Sharp, Grandy, and Salas. I almost would, if I say that real quick, I'd end up calling him Salad.
Salad.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick, I'm still working on words, man, you know.
Go right at home. Go right at home.
Yeah. All right, well, let's bring up third place man Sharp up here. Let's get a word with him.
All right, Jeff Sharp, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
So definitely a good run. You know, you logged yourself into the pole shuffle last night in the qualifier races. Kind of tell us how that went last night, and then coming into this race, kind of what was your goal coming into the pole shuffle tonight?
I wanted to stay right where I was. Third starting spot's pretty good for the feature, so I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, you know, we spoke earlier a little bit about guys maybe wanting to start on the outside versus the inside for the feature. So it sounds like you were looking to start on the inside for tomorrow night.
Yeah, at the beginning, I think the bottom's going to be the way to go. And my teammate was in front of me there, Joseph, so I didn't want to push it too hard. I was happy where I was.
Definitely some strategic thoughts there carrying into tomorrow night. Now, tomorrow night's race is a little bit longer than what's typically ran with Coast to Coast being 100 laps. You know, kind of what are you looking for tomorrow night?
Oh, the track should be really good the last half of the race. We should be able to run middle, high, low. It'll be a good race.
All right, well, definitely congratulations on locking in third for tomorrow night's feature event. You got anybody you want to thank?
I just want to thank Coast to Coast and you guys for putting all this on.
All right, that is your third place finisher, Jeff Sharp.
Absolutely, done an outstanding job. Bring up second place man here, Grandy, who did a good one here tonight also.
Hey there, Joseph. You got a copy on me?
Yep, how you doing?
Well, man, you started second, held on to second. You'll start second tomorrow night in the big dance. Just talk us through this pole shuffle race.
I feel like I got pinched a little bit on that coming out of turn 2, but starting second in a 100-lap race, it don't really matter where you start, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of work to get done tomorrow night, but you know, you locked yourself into this pole shuffle last night. Talk us about last night's race as well, because we didn't get to see it.
I didn't see last night's race, so I couldn't tell you what happened. I qualified second, so I didn't have to do any of that stuff.
Oh, well, okay, there you go. Your work has been pretty easy all week so far. Well, man, you got anybody like to thank here for your second place finish in the pole shuffle?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Catalytic Recovery, West End Towing and Repair, all the guys at Training Wells Racing. Congrats to Isaac on the pole. I'd like to thank you guys for doing the broadcast, Coast to Coast, all their sponsors, and Mission 22.
There you have it, folks. Your second place man. That's Joseph, Grandy, and Joe. I'll let you get a word with our winner.
Absolutely. Up here, Isaac, Joy in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, he's able to put it out front, put it on up there. How you feel about your starting spot for tomorrow night?
Oh, I know no other place I'd rather be, to be honest with you.
There you go. Well, all right, then how do you feel about your chances tomorrow night after running this track here tonight?
It depends on when the cautions come out, to be honest with you. If we get a good green flag run here at the start, I think I'll be quite a ways away. Hopefully, I love this track, but in that later stages, if you get cautions, I mean, it's super easy to kind of get in your own head, and you just got to keep those nerves down. And when you got guys like Grandy and them around you, I mean, one small mistake is really all it takes to lose it.
Well, good luck tomorrow night, man. You got anybody you want to thank for this awesome finish here tonight?
Absolutely, man. Thanks to all those guys over at Venom Racing, Dean, the Super Dark Car Series, for the support every week. Magnum Race Designs, Got Your Six Racing Network, RSN Trackside, Simtrax Broadcasting, everybody here in Coast to Coast, man. It's a fun league, dude. It really is, and I'm glad that we're putting on this event. Mission 22 and everything that they do for our veterans, man. And I tell everybody, like, if you don't know, what they all do, it truly is amazing, and it's very I don't know the word I'd want to even describe it, just like gratifying and like satisfying to even be a part of something like this. Yeah, and then just thank you guys for the broadcast. Thanks, my friends, my family that are watching and supporting me, and then thanks to my gramps, and thanks to Top Notch Trucking. Yeah, that should be it, man.
Hey, man, no doubt. Boy, I tell you what, we're putting it out front tomorrow, so good luck for tomorrow there, Isaac.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
We go. Well, don't go anywhere. We got some, now we got more of a B-Main style series where, again, these guys are going to have to battle for only 3 positions. We'll be right back here in just a few.
Yes, that's why. So we'll just give them a quick brush, and then we'll get our stuff on, and then we have like an obstacle course. And so
Why I'm smiling.
you don't know why you're smiling. We always smile. Smiling's the best.
The Mission 22 Equine program is a riding program for children of veterans. We also serve grandchildren or direct family members of veterans.
It's a lot of fun, and I've always loved horses.
We have private lessons and group lessons, but it's not just riding. You know, riding lessons, people just think that that's all it is. But we have the opportunity here to really build confidence, to lower stress levels, to give them an outlet and opportunity to spend time doing something healthy and productive. Mission 22 is really based on the foundation of the importance for family. It's why we're supporting families here. So in a time where kids' programs are being canceled left and right, school is shut down, they're not able to be around their friends, you know, being able to have an opportunity where they can just be together and let go of that stress and be around people. Again, honestly, it's just really that simple, being around people. You know, who would have thought that it was something as simple as that?
That's okay. You want to grab his reins, and then I'll have you walk him forward. It's really a special thing to watch these kids come every week and build a partnership and a relationship with their horse. It lets them forget about everything that's going on in life, being able to come here, kind of shut the world out a little bit, and have a really stress-free, fun environment.
There's tons of studies that have been done on lowering of cortisol levels of children, and especially with children of veterans, often growing up in a household that can be a more stressful place, to be able to have an outlet where they can be outside, fresh air, horses around them, and just growing in that confidence.
Horses are really unique. They're very intuitive to people. They're very emotionally intelligent. They're very emotional animals, very in tune to people. They have a great way of reading people as well, that they can pick up on if you're feeling nervous or scared or excited. They're very reflective to how you feel. And so it's a great way to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, because they'll let you know.
When you're riding bareback, it's really important to think about keeping your thighs nice and snug.
Watch your spacing. Remember 1 to 2 horse lengths in between. Nice work. Yep, then you're gonna go through the blue barrels, and you can weave through them, and you can walk through them.
Before we came to Central Oregon, we were based out of Portland. So we were renting an office in the city, we were having to pay to board horses, and it was getting to be exceptionally expensive. And so what it came down to was an opportunity to have a facility that we could grow programs out, that we could have the equine program on our own property, that we can continue to operate during a time that nobody really knew kind of what was happening next. And so having our own facility gave us the freedom to continue serving the families that we care about.
It's so fun to see parents come and talk to each other, and being able to kind of share stories, watch their kids together is a really neat thing, talk about just life in general, having a place to come and to really connect with people. Obstacles.
I really like riding the horse because it's the best thing ever, and it's so exciting.
By supporting families of veterans on this property through the equine program, it really gives us the opportunity to show that importance. So we're not just supporting their kids, but we're supporting their families. They're having a community here, and building that strong family foundation builds a strong veteran. And that is something that we very much believe in, is supporting the family, supporting the veteran, and that cohesiveness together.
All right, folks, here we go. Getting set here. Now, these guys here, top three. This is where it's going to get interesting because the top three advance into tomorrow night. Let's look at the grid real quick here, Corey.
Yeah, on the pole here for B main number 1, that's going to be the 35. That's going to be Connor Ross, GJ Boydell on the outside of him. Row 2, Joseph Moose, one of the Mooses. Harold Klump on his outside. Row 3, Patrick Boyceberry Goldner. Row 4, Gary Sigelco. Aaron Turkey. Row 5, Tanner Purcell. The other Moose, that's Jacob Moose. And rounding out this field, 11 cars, that's going to be Michael Vecchio.
Just call him Justified.
Justified. Okay, we'll get by his middle name.
I'm with you. I'm going to say it's Chico.
Chia, something like it.
Yeah.
Maybe Vickery knows.
No,
That's a new guy. New guy.
Yeah, he jumped in after I got away.
Okay. Fellas, this one here, you remember you talked about in the last one. What is the difference? What do y'all think the difference is real quick? At the 358, the big blocks here, these guys, you still got the top three going.
Yeah, I think here in the big blocks, the guys are gonna have to be a lot more patient. These cars have a lot more power, and you can't, when you're in a pack of cars like this, you can't just drive it wide open like you can with the 358s because things happen so much faster in these cars. And even in the earlier last chance qualifiers, we saw a couple instances where guys got sideways in the middle of the pack, and the guys behind them just really had nowhere to go. These cars, it's the same thing, but it happens a lot faster.
Not to mention a few less cars here in the big blocks than we had in the 358s for a B main. So, a little less cars to pass if you're at the back.
Very true, very true.
There we go, Connor Ross. He's gonna lead this field to the green, get to the restart zone between the two donuts on the infield. And wow, he sat back a long time and waited. He gets a good jump with Joseph Moose. Moose now looking for the lead out down the back stretch, and oh my, we got a car upside down.
That's GJ Boydell. Caution out. We're seeing him right there, unfortunately. Let's go to Malcolm Mills replays here one more time. He was actually up front there, and this right here just not a little bit. It got squeezed into the wall, then flipped around, and then he did the beetle roll.
It's a tough break there for GJ Boydell. He'll definitely need to go in for a quick fix, and that car is a little handful to drive around. He's got to get around to the back stretch, get to the yellow cones.
You ever see Moose's picture on the driver thing? It's kind of alien. You can look on the screen there.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. What does Jacob Moose have anything?
Yeah, he got a dirt bike.
Oh.
He says, I'm out dirt biking it. He's thinking about aliens.
Maybe that's from where they raided Area 51 a couple years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Brought him to the dirt track with him. Yeah, that's it. That's funny.
No, boy.
Well, it looks like GJ Boydell call it a night.
Well, he's got to back the car up. He hasn't taken a quick.
Yeah, he's taking it out of the pit.
Yeah.
He's out. So. Wow.
No, he's sitting there. He could pull out. Okay, I'm not sure what he's waiting on.
Now, the one thing about dirt, I will say, an advantage of not clicking off the laps is you don't go a lap down and then pits.
Very true.
Yeah.
But it does look like he did call it quits. Connor Ross lead him to the two donuts on the infield. Second to the last and the last one. He gets a good jump once again with Joseph Moose on the high side. Moose not quite enough momentum, allows Harold Klump there to get to the inside of Moose. This is the battle for second.
It looked like a little bit of contact there between Moose and Klump getting into turn 3 there. You know, these top 3 spots, that's all that go from this race. So, you know, you want to race hard, but you want to be careful as well because you don't want to fall out of that top 3 spot.
Absolutely got to hang into the top 3. That's the all-important spot being held on for Harold Klump. Behind him, Boyce, he's got to try to make up some momentum. He's almost getting there, about maybe a car length on an exit of 2, and falls back down the middle of the straightaway.
Yeah, you know, the top 6 or 7 are kind of starting to close in on each other. You know, there's not a whole lot of room there or around that transfer spot. So Klump's definitely got to focus on hitting his marks and not making any mistakes.
Well, you got to think about it. The lap times, they are almost very, very similar amongst the field.
Yep,
it's a lot harder.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, and they're all running different lines. You got cars at the very, very top. You got cars at the very, very bottom. So the track looks really, really racy right now.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to make up time on the guy in front of you when both of you are running very similar lap times, if not switching lap time count.
Yep, and it looks like, I'm trying to wait for the camera to pan back around. Looks like Connor Ross is still running the very, very bottom. You know, we saw earlier where GJ was, you know, stuck to the bottom of the 358. I wonder if Connor's going to run down there or if he'll eventually move to the top when the bottom starts going away.
Doesn't look like the bottom is worn in. Oh, we got a caution out. Who is it? Gary Sigelka.
Oh, yeah. Back on the Malcolm Mills replay, see what happened to him. They're in that 25 machine. He'll go there by himself. Him in the wall, talked about it or something, or
I think a donut.
Yeah, it just I don't like that one. I'm not gonna speculate on what happened there, but I don't kind of like how that car went. We'll just kind of leave that one race control. Lost control on the track.
So that was the second caution. So now Connor Ross gains a massive advantage, not having to worry about anybody on his outside here with, I think we've got 1 or 2 more laps under caution. But yeah, I mean, he gets the benefit of firing off and potentially getting 2 or 3 car lengths on the guy in second.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, y'all two were watching on there that first little bit. Pretty good green flag run. What do y'all feel now that these guys are doing? 'Cause you mentioned it looked pretty even.
Well, Joe, me and you, we talk about it every week. You get cautions, and it just messes with your momentum that you've had. You got to relearn the line and think about a lap to get back to where you were, get in the rhythm.
Oh, it looks like we're going double file too.
Yeah, double file. So, I mean, this is the second caution. We did say
after the second caution, it'll go single.
So if we get a third caution under 10 laps in, it gets single. Got it. Here we go, Connor Ross. One of the Mooses. That's Joseph Moose. Ross out front. Advantage over Klump. Klump right in the second. Battle is on, though, for the transfer spot. That's Purcell in the yellow car down low on the inside of Joe Moose. Joe Moose trying to keep the momentum on the high side. And here comes Jacob Moose, the other Moose. These two have very, very similar looking paint schemes.
Yeah, those guys are not holding any bars there for that second place spot. You know, they're almost 3 wide coming out of 4 right there. They were 3 wide coming out of 2 the previous lap.
Look at this. We got the battle of the Mooses with Klump thrown in the mix. This is for the final transfer spot. Joseph Moose right now holding on to it. Jacob Moose on the inside trying to take it away.
Yeah, the way it's looking right now, one of them may make it, one of them may not.
One of the mooses ain't going to be too happy with the other moose.
Well, both mooses don't take each other out.
Well, you know, I mean, they could bunt antlers or whatever you call them on a moose.
Yeah, if I'm plump right now, you know, that's what I'm hoping for, that or another caution.
Absolutely, 15 laps in here. Still good battle for the transfer spot. Jacob Moose now has a little advantage over Joe Moose. Joe Moose, he's gonna maybe look to the inside. He looked on the inside out of the exit of 4. Now he's on the bottom in 1 and 2. He'll get to the inside quarter on exit. Not quite enough there. Now he has the inside on Jacob Moose. But Jacob Moose, he's going to move up to the high side. 4 to go. Still a good little ways to go for these drivers.
Yeah, it looks like Ross and Purcell have pulled away from the Mooses and, you know, created a little bit of gap. So, you know, I'm sure they're hoping that a caution doesn't come out. But it does look like Purcell is pulling in Ross a little bit here.
Absolutely good gap back from Purcell to the first Moose. That's Jacob Moose. And look at this. Battle is heated up for 4th. Not a transfer spot. That's between Joe Moose and Harold Klump. And you got to be thinking, if you're Joe Moose, you do not want to start battling, as that's allowing Jacob Moose to pull away. We're going to see the white flag this time by for Connor Ross. Klump has to check up for Joe Moose, but Moose just does not have enough time to catch up to the other Moose. Connor Ross going to take him to win. Tanner Purcell second, and the Jacob Moose will move on to the big dance tomorrow night.
It was a really, really good race there.
Yeah, it was, and interesting to see what these guys are doing. So we'll get a word with them. You got your top 3 transferring on. The rest, unfortunately, they're going to watch it from, like you said, the bleachers here. So we'll see what we can get. Got the old Moose, Purcell, and Ross. Top 3 there. But, well, just by watching that one, what do you think the next guys have got to do?
Same thing.
Aggressive. Well, let's bring up the winner here tonight, Ross, and get a word with him. Connor, Joe, in the booth, got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, you was able to stay out front and get up there. How was that car? How's the track for you?
God, played it in my favor. You know, on a tacky track, I'm not that good in a big block, so glad that practice carried over and we were able to run on a slicker track, and I think that played into my advantage.
You was able to make it to tomorrow night. How's it feeling now going into tomorrow night?
I'm feeling good. I honestly don't know if I'll be able to race tomorrow night, depending on what time I get off work. I haven't touched the sim in a while, and Dean Reynolds messaged me late. I don't know what day it was, but I think it was Monday. And I didn't even know this was going on, so I was like, you know what, it's for a great cause. I'll come have fun, even if I make it or not. But, you know, I'm out here having a blast.
There you go. You got anybody you want to thank, man, for getting in the show here tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank the Gambler guys. You know, they've helped me a bunch recently. And I got to thank Burger Barn, Petro Plus, Travel Stop, Kingpin Farms. And got to thank Nicholas Vickery for this beautiful wrap that he made me a few years ago. It's still looking beautiful, and I got to thank him. And it's good to see him around again, and you guys for putting on the broadcast.
There you go. It's O'Connor Ross bringing it home here tonight. Let's bring third place man here, and let's get a word with him, old Jacob Moose.
All right, Jacob, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
So kind of give us a rundown of your race, you know, coming into this race here, kind of what was going through your mind.
I just needed to get around the slow guys in the back. Like I said earlier, I had caught up 2 wrecks in the heat races last night and put me in the back. But I knew I had speed when the track wore out. Everybody's fast on a smooth track, but when the track wore out, I really found the bottom and it was great racing with everybody. It was just nice and clean, and I'm just happy to make it in.
We saw the battle there between you and the other moves. Kind of walk us through that. Are you guys going to have the conversation about that maybe after the night's over with?
Oh, definitely. It was, I feel like it was a great battle. He was on the high side, I was on the bottom, and I knew I could not get up that bottom, and I hated to take it away from him. He started third, and he kind of got messed up from contact with another driver, and I was able to pounce on it, and it helped me there, and I just couldn't let him around me, and I felt bad, but, when it comes to being in the last transfer, I wanted it, so I went and got it.
Yep, you got to do what you got to do. Well, definitely congratulations on bringing home the third place finish here in the last chance qualifier, and congratulations for making the main event tomorrow night. Got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, well, thanks Fast Eddie Hot Rod, my brother Joe, my teammates from Graham Racing. It's just been a lot of fun racing in this league, and I like to continue.
All right, that is your third place finisher, Jacob Moose.
Absolutely, and I know Purcell, he came home in second. Don't see him out there, so I guess we're going to flip it on over here. Don't go anywhere. We got one more to go here. These guys, 3 more guys are going to transfer into tomorrow night. We'll be right back here in a few.
Yes, that's why. So we'll just give them a quick brush, and then we'll get our stuff on, and then we have like an obstacle course. And so
I'm smiling.
You don't know why you're smiling. We always smile. Smiling's the best.
The Mission 22 Equine program is a riding program for children of veterans. We also serve grandchildren or direct family members of veterans.
It's a lot of fun, and I've always loved horses.
We have private lessons and group lessons, but it's not just riding. Riding lessons, people just think that that's all it is. But we have the opportunity here to really build confidence, to lower stress levels, to give them an outlet and opportunity to spend time doing something healthy and productive. Mission 22 is really based on the foundation of the importance for family. It's why we're supporting families here. So in a time where kids' programs are being canceled left and right, school is shut down, they're not able to be around their friends, being able to have an opportunity where they can just be together and let go of that stress and be around people. Again, honestly, it's just really that simple, being around people. Who would have thought that it was something as simple as that?
That's okay. You want to grab his reins, and then I'll have you walk him forward. It's really a special thing to watch these kids come every week and build a partnership and a relationship with their horse. It lets them forget about everything that's going on in life, being able to come here, kind of shut the world out a little bit, and have a really stress-free, fun environment.
There's tons of studies that have been done on lowering of cortisol levels of children, and especially with children of veterans, often growing up in a household that can be a more stressful place, to be able to have an outlet where they can be outside, fresh air, horses around them, and just growing in that confidence.
Horses are really unique. They're very intuitive to people. They're very emotionally intelligent. They're very emotional animals, very in tune to people. They have a great way of reading people as well, that they can pick up on if you're feeling nervous or scared or excited. They're very reflective to how you feel. And so it's a great way to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, because they'll let you know.
When you're riding bareback, it's really important to think about keeping your thighs nice and snug.
Watch your spacing. Remember 1 to 2 horse lengths in between. Nice work. Yep, then you're gonna go through the blue barrels, and you can weave through them, and you can walk through them.
Before we came to Central Oregon, we were based out of Portland. So we were renting an office in the city, we were having to pay to board horses, and it was getting to be exceptionally expensive. And so what it came down to was an opportunity to have a facility that we could grow programs out, that we could have the equine program on our own property, that we can continue to operate during a time that nobody really knew kind of what was happening next. And so having our own facility gave us the freedom to continue serving the families that we care about.
It's so fun to see parents come and talk to each other, and being able to kind of share stories, watch their kids together is a really neat thing. Talk about just life in general, having a place to come and to really connect with people.
Obstacles. I really like riding the horse because it's the best thing ever, and it's so exciting.
By supporting families of veterans on this property through the Equine program, it really gives us the opportunity to show that importance. So we're not just supporting their kids, but we're supporting their families. They're having a community here, and building that strong family foundation builds a strong veteran. And that is something that we very much believe in, is supporting the family, supporting the veteran, and that cohesiveness together.
All right, folks, race 2 here tonight for the Chris Yacklon Memorial here for the Super Dirt Week here. Coast to Coast Racing League presented with Catalytic. Let me make sure I get it right. Catalytic Recovery here tonight. And also, we're supporting the veterans of Mission 22. Got to thank Mission 22 for everything they do. But about to grid them up again. Top 3 go to the feature tomorrow night. Everybody else, well, they're going to stay home. Or what we got on the grid?
Well, right now on the grid, you got the pole sitter for this B main. Number 2, the last B main of the night. That's going to be Ryan Hunsinger on his outside. You'll see Luke Hines, row 2, Bob Good, Kyle Moonen, row number 3, Jonathan Krupa, Terry Landis, row 4, Mike Grandy, Colin Johnston, row 5, Mike Cranmer, Dylan Kinsey. And the last row number 6, you'll see Joe Canellis and Preston Cranmer.
These names out here, Nick, you should be familiar with.
Yep. I seen a bunch of them, raced with a bunch of them. You know, a lot of these guys are really, really fast. It'll be interesting to watch them come through the field.
Now, Corey, if you didn't know, Nick up here is the fastest, I think it was the Pro Late model guy. He just dominated. And I think what it was is they just kind of bought him out the league because he won everything.
Real.
Hey, he was a champion, like what? Wasn't it like 3 times in a row or 2 times?
Yeah, I think total I've got like 7 championships.
I see. Told you, man. He's like the master class here when it comes to the.
Gotta stay humble, Joe.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Well, I tell you what, guys. Again, 3 men go to tomorrow night's feature. Everybody else is gonna go home. It's the same scenario. You got to be aggressive. We did see a couple different grooves, man, come by in that last race.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I would say it was really interesting to see at the end of that last race, the bottom come back in. We saw in the 358 that the bottom kind of went away when, GJ stuck to the bottom and ended up finishing second. But there at the end, those guys moved back to the bottom.
Yeah, most definitely. We've seen a couple different lines come in. The bottom was still able to be utilized late in the running. Let's see if this server plays up the same for Hunsinger. He's going to control this thing at the green flag. Loud pedal is down. Luke Hines there in second. Battle is on, though, for the final transfer spot. That's Bobby Good on the inside. Now he's out in front of Kyle Moonen. Moonen looking for him.
Yep, Moonen chasing him down, coming all 4 there. It looked like Moonen maybe wanted to get to the bottom. I know in the sprint car specifically, he likes to run the bottom a little bit, kind of down there with Ryan Beagle. So it'll be interesting to see what lines he takes as he moves way down there by the tractor tires.
Definitely wanted the inside line, gave up that high side, but look at this. We got a battle for the lead, and never mind. Caution is out. That's going to ruin it.
Yeah, let's look here on our Alpha Mills replay. It's like Joseph Canellis, fortunately in the back. He got tangled up there with Colin. Yep, those two just got together. Colin did the flip. Joseph was able to go. Actually, there's another car in the front there, so we had more action than. Wow, okay.
Dylan Kinsey there.
Everybody getting involved.
fair share.
So definitely want to take this time to, under caution, to thank all the sponsors that came on board for this event. Just go through them really quick here. We've got Catalytic Recovery. I always struggle with that word. For coming on as a title sponsor for the charity event here for Mission 22. And we also got to thank Extreme eSpeed TV, Flatline Racing Bodies, Maurer Farm Management, A&J Custom Creations, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Velocity Race Design, Young Gun Creation, and Finish Line Race Design. I remember thinking back to when I was painting race cars and seeing a couple of them on the track tonight, but a lot of the guys that were listed here as a sponsorship, they make really, really good wraps, and if anybody out there needs a wrap, definitely go check out one of those guys. Yeah, I'm with you. A lot of the sponsors still the same here. I read them off week in and week out, the hometown heroes, and like what you just said right there, got to appreciate them. Yeah, our main one here tonight, Catalytic Recovery, Mission 22 here, out coast to coast, but, just a ton of them. You see them out there at the top of the screen, flipping through them. Maybe a couple new ones here, but for the most part, like the Gamma Motorsports, A&J, Flatline, Velocity, a lot of those guys still the same. Hey, it's good to see. Long time. Green flag back out there.
Absolutely. Ryan Hunsinger still out front in front of Luke Hines. Battle is now heated back up once again. That's Bob the Good on the inside of Moonin, but caution is going to fly once again for his second time.
Might be Mike Cranmer that went around. I'm not sure. Actually, he came out of the pits on him, but
might have been
our car in the back slide around. Oh, there it is. Oh, well, Joseph got into him, but it was actually the 07. What's Mike Cranmer?
No, it's Preston Cranmer.
The Preston?
That's Preston in that car. I'm not sure
why
why
I'm saying Mike. Yeah, I don't know why. Both of them are saying Mike. Yeah, and actually that's father-son, so changed my SDK. Why the number is. So sometimes I think Mike might get into 07 is why. Who knows? Either way, let's watch it one more time. Oh, he got tagged by the 83, then spun around, and then Joseph, man, I tell you what, that guy's had a bad night so far. Yeah, luck has not been on his side.
So second caution here, we'll stay double file. We get another one before we get to 10 to go. We'll go single file. We don't want to see another one. The fans might. Some of these drivers might want to see one.
Yep, I guess the kind of the positive side to the guys running second, third, and fourth there in the first couple rows is it's almost like a redo, right? Because Hunsinger got a really, really good start there on that restart. So now these guys, I think, are going to be up on their toes, making sure that they're on top of the guy in front of them and trying not to let him get away from the pack quite as much as he did last time.
Absolutely. Here we go. Pace truck is pulled into the infield. We'll get to the restart box. It's second to the last donut and the last donut, and we're going a little bit early. Okay, never mind. Ryan, you messed me up there on the restart zone. He's out front in front of Luke Hines. Moonin, a little bit better start that time around. Bob did good. He's going to have to look for some grip. He's looking for it up top, but he's got pressure there. That's Krupa, who had to get in the brakes. He'll fall back behind Dylan Kinsey. So your front four, all single file, rolling the bottom groove. Battle is on for fifth. That's Kinsey on the bottom. Krupa on the high side.
Yeah, if I'm Bob the Good, I like to see that in the rearview mirror, those guys battling really hard. That gives him the opportunity to try to go up there and catch Kyle Moonin.
Absolutely, he needs to try to find that grip. He's looking around in different grooves, maybe trying to figure out corner exit. That's where he's losing time to Moonin right now. He's back around with Dylan Kinsey. He's going to be all over back dirt bars.
Absolutely, and it looks like Hunsinger, Hines, and Moonin all right up each other. It looks like Moonin trying to go to the top for the first time.
And realized the situation behind him, the gap. It's an experiment, but look at that. but it was nice to have real estate down there. I was good once again away from Kinsey, John Krupa to the middle grid. Krupa falls into up front. So you got Luke Hines, Kyle Moon, experimenting with that high side, trying to test it. It's the back end. Hines.
Yeah, I think they just out of real estate there. Both guys were trying to find different lines there going into 3, and they maybe just ran out of real estate.
Absolutely mooning right there, pressuring Luke Hines into giving him up that spot here. A little bit of contact allows Hines to pull away, and caution is back out third time tonight. Who is it? Oh, maybe Krupa.
Yep, Krupa. Let's go back here and check out the Malcolm Mills replay. See what happened, guys. Krupa, what's going on, man? BB, Duck, how y'all doing out there? Appreciate everybody, man, tuning in, like all the family members watching this replay. And, Krupa just got spun around. Unfortunately, their night's going to be probably done. I mean, because I'm going to say if you get into trouble with only 7 to go, with only having 3 positions, it's going to be very, very tough for you to make them back up.
Yeah, definitely a little bit harder of a task now to get back up to a transfer spot for Krupa. He'll be going to get it back here around the 10th spot. Maybe godsend for Dylan Kinsey. He'll now line up in 4th behind Kyle Moonen.
Yep, that launches everybody back up, and certainly I think for the first time tonight I'll be right and say that we're going to go single file. But, the top 3 guys really got to stay on top of each other, trying not to let the guys get away from them.
Hey, Nick, and I talk about this a lot. You're out there, you're leading, you got a good lead. Multiple cautions come out, and these tracks change so much. We've seen it time and time again, the leader out there, and then he gets in trouble, and he loses that lead. I think that's what's going through the mind, maybe a Humsinger right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's up, Valhalla? How you doing out there? Got to give a shout out to them. He's one of the sponsors tonight, Valhalla Mobile. It is a good one. Got to appreciate everybody. Hit them likes and shares tonight live here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network on YouTube, also our network on Facebook, dirtfan.com. I always say like pick poison on which one you want, but definitely hit the likes and shares. I know the league will appreciate it. Going back green.
Hunsinger still out front here. Luke Hines, he's going to look to the outside. Hunsinger down low. Do we have a battle for the lead? We do, down the back straightaway. Hines trying to use the momentum on the outside of Hunsinger to take it away. Yeah, who's going to lead the lap? Officially give it to Hunsinger that time by. Wow.
Yeah, they're in 2 separate lines. It looks like Hunsinger may have a run coming off of 2 here, though. Or, I'm sorry, Hines.
Yeah, Hunsinger down low, trying to hang in here. They keep on doing this. They are going to allow Moonen to close in, and wow, that last time by 0 across the board.
Kyle Moonens loves seeing these guys run side by side like this. It gives him the opportunity to make up the ground.
It does. Moonen now on the outside, looking to maybe take it 3 wide. Thought better of it down out of turn 2. He's right there on the back bumper of Luke Hines, and the one that really likes the battle going in front of him, that's Dylan Kinsey. He's like, come on, boys, someone make contact. Allow me to get up here. Look at this, 3 wide almost for the lead. Now 2 wide. Once again, Kyle Moonen, 2 spots up.
Yep, side by side here, coming off 4. Moonen took the opportunity to throw the slider. Let's see if Hines he decides to back out of it and leave Kyle Moonen the top.
See the white flag for Kyle Moonen this time by Hines there in second. Hunsinger trying to hang on for third, but Dylan Kinsey, he's right there. He's going to be looking for the final transfer spot. Who's going to hang in? Will it be Hunsinger? Will it be Kinsey? Who's going to take home the win? Moonen for the win. Hines second. Hunsinger hangs on to third. What a good race.
And I said it before, that caution, and before we went green, I've seen it a many a times, and Nick Corey, the leader out front, get cursed by the cautions. Not so much that the cautions hurt them, it's just how the track changes and you lose that momentum, and we saw it there with Humsinger falling from the lead to third. Still transfers, but man, I know he would have much rather had that 2 positions back as they're waiting for these guys to jump up here to get a word with him.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure he's about as shocked as I was when Moonin took it 3 wide and took 2 spots for 1.
Sometimes when you're leading the race too, it's difficult to know where the fast line is because you don't have anybody in front of you. So, and we saw that earlier with GJ. He ran the bottom and decided to stick to it, and ultimately it cost him the win. So it'll be interesting to talk to Hunsinger and see what was kind of going through his head there on that last restart.
Absolutely. Waiting for some of these guys to jump up here, get a word with them, but that's going to set your field for tomorrow night. What do y'all think, guys?
Yeah, I definitely think that tomorrow night's races are a lot longer than we've seen so far in this event. Tomorrow night's 358 race is 75 laps, and the big block race is 100. So, I think the past 2 nights we've progressively gotten more aggressive just because you're trying to make the main event. But now that the guys that have made it are in, I think you're going to have to change gears and try to be a little more patient. There was a lot of talk last night that you can't be at the end with a torn up race car. You need to be patient and be smart with where you try to make passes, because you need to try to keep your car intact for all 75 or all 100 other laps.
Well, let's bring up old the Moonin man up here. Won it tonight. Kyle, Joe White in the booth, got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Well, Kyle, I'll tell you what, you were able to now take us back, because, man, you had a rocket ship coming through there. Was you happy to see the caution, or was you not?
Not really, no. I just kind of figured out the top was moving, so I kind of wanted some laps with that, but, obviously it worked out either way, so can't be upset about it.
Oh, absolutely not. Like you say, come out of here, man, starting tomorrow night. Now, what's your mentality going into tomorrow night?
Man, really staying out of trouble. I think if I do that, for the first 50 laps or so at least, I'll kind of work my way, to the front on that alone. And I'm hoping the track's slick by the end of it. I definitely like the slicker tracks, do a little bit better on those. So hopefully it's like that by the end of it.
Well, you look strong tonight. You got anybody you want to thank for a good finish?
Just all the guys at Bandy Bill, Ross Cronette, Velocity Race Design, everyone in here for the broadcast, everyone that helps put the league on and put these shows on, and thanks to Mission 22, and that's about it.
There you go. That's old Kyle Moonin bringing it home tonight, clocking himself in for tomorrow night. Let's bring up the second place man here, though, Hines. He did an outstanding job getting into the show.
Hey there, Luke. You got a copy on me?
I sure do.
Well, man, you started second, held on to second, but it didn't come with some tall tasks to get done. A little bit of battling going on up at the front. Just talk us through that race.
We just kind of settled in early. Figured we could log some laps in the cautions early. We're good because then it put us in a single file restart system there. But really just trying to log laps, not spin Ryan out. He was guarding the bottom pretty good. But I knew Kyle was probably a little bit faster than us on the outside. I just didn't know if it was going to come in that quick or not. So I was trying to keep an eye on him without watching too much of what's going on in front of me. But he deserves it. He found the line faster and sooner, and I think he was a little bit better than both of us up front anyways.
So either way, you're locked in for the big dance tomorrow night. You got anybody you like to thank tonight?
Redline Graphics for doing the wraps on the car, Swan Speed Shop, Expert Installation, Without all those guys, we wouldn't be doing this stuff. And obviously, again, we'd like to thank you guys for putting this event on, and we're really glad to be part of it.
You go, second place man Hines. Well, what are you feeling about tomorrow night, guys?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really, really exciting, Joe. You know, we've kind of culminated to this point of everybody making the features, and you know, we know what the starting order is going to be, and now you know, all these guys, they just have to perform to try to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, 100 laps for the big block, 75 for the 358s tomorrow night, Joe. I think these drivers all understand their assignment. They got to be aggressive late in the running, but they got to keep that car under them.
Well, that sets the field for tomorrow night, gentlemen. And, you know, as many as it's going to be, I think it's going to be interesting. As short as some of these races are, though, do you think some of these guys learned anything for tomorrow night?
Yeah, you know, I think they did. You know, a couple of these guys got quite a few laps under their belt between the qualifier and between the last chance qualifier. So, you know, and from experience racing in these events, I think that a lot of these guys probably ran quite a few laps around Charlotte. So, you know, and I would imagine that a lot of them set the track state at 80-90%, because going into tomorrow night, the track, you know, it may start out fresh, but it's certainly not going to end up that way.
Well, like I said, man, tune in tomorrow night, because it's going to be very, very interesting what these guys can pull off and what they're going to do. It was an awesome night here, as a lot of qualifying, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of happiness here. But for myself and all the guys up here, everyone here from Mission 22, Catalytic Recovery, Coast to Coast Racing League, I got to appreciate Nick and man Corey coming up here tonight in the booth. For myself and everyone, have a good night.
Yes, that's why. So we'll just give them a quick brush, and then we'll get our stuff on, and then we have like an obstacle course. And so
I'm smiling.
You don't know why you're smiling. We always smile. Smiling's the best.
The Mission 22 Equine program is a riding program for children of veterans. We also serve grandchildren or direct family members of veterans.
It's a lot of fun, and I've always loved horses so much.
We have private lessons and group lessons, but it's not just riding. You know, riding lessons, people just think that that's all it is. But we have the opportunity here to really build confidence, to lower stress levels, to give them an outlet and opportunity to spend time doing something healthy and productive. Mission 22 is really based on the foundation of the importance for family. It's why we're supporting families here. So in a time where kids' programs are being canceled left and right, school is shut down, they're not able to be around their friends, you know, being able to have an opportunity where they can just be together and let go of that stress and be around people. Again, honestly, it's just really that simple, being around people. You know, who would have thought that it was something as simple as that?
That's okay. You want to grab his reins, and then I'll have you walk him forward. It's really a special thing to watch these kids come every week and build a partnership and a relationship with their horse. It lets them forget about everything that's going on in life, being able to come here, kind of shut the world out a little bit, and have a really stress-free, fun environment.
There's tons of studies that have been done on lowering of cortisol levels of children, and especially with children of veterans, often growing up in a household that can be a more stressful place, to be able to have an outlet where they can be outside, fresh air, horses around them, and just growing in that confidence.
Horses are really unique. They're very intuitive to people. They're very emotionally intelligent, they're very emotional animals, very in tune to people. They have a great way of reading people as well, that they can pick up on if you're feeling nervous or scared or excited. They're very reflective to how you feel. And so it's a great way to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, because they'll let you know.
When you're riding bareback, it's really important to think about keeping your thighs nice and snug.
Watch your spacing. Remember 1 to 2 horse lengths in between. Nice work. Yep, then you're gonna go through the blue barrels and you can weave through them and you can walk through them.
Before we came to Central Oregon, we were based out of Portland. So we were renting an office in the city, we were having to pay to board horses, and it was getting to be exceptionally expensive. And so what it came down to was an opportunity to have a facility that we could grow programs out, that we could have the equine program on our own property that we can continue to operate during a time that nobody really knew kind of what was happening next. And so having our own facility gave us the freedom to continue serving the families that we care about.
It's so fun to see parents come and talk to each other, and being able to kind of share stories, watch their kids together is a really neat thing. Talk about just life in general, having a place to come and to really connect with people.
Obstacles. I really like riding the horse because it's the best thing ever, and it's so exciting.
By supporting families of veterans on this property through the equine program, it really gives us the opportunity to show that importance. So we're not just supporting their kids, but we're supporting their families. They're having a community here, and building that strong family foundation builds a strong veteran. And that is something that we very much believe in, is supporting the family, supporting the veteran, and that cohesiveness together.